Hey everybody, it's me, your old pal Double D, and today, I don't know if you can see because there's a huge glare from the sun. We are at the Sioux Falls Convention Center for Siouxpercon, as you can tell by the fact I'm wearing my con jacket. A lot of stuff going on here today. I'm going to try doing a little bit of filming inside, but no guarantees because, respect people's privacy. And, well, we were here yesterday. Of course, I got to meet the great CJ, Jason from Part 6, got an autograph, and saw the panel for 13 Fanboys. If you haven't seen that movie, see it. Good movie. It's kind of loud here today. They're doing band contests across the street. We got a rodeo over here and, of course, us over there. But I'm hoping to get a few good shots today. I didn't get any yesterday because I geeked out too much and forgot. But we'll see you inside later. Hey everybody, and that's the end. We just got done with day 2 of Siouxpercon. My camera looks weird, but that's okay. I recorded, as you will see in the video, what I did record. I didn't really record the Friday the 13th panel because I was too busy watching it. But yeah, my screen seems to be really light. Don't start moving yet. And I'll put of course, all the still photos will be put together. But so far, it's been a good day. We got to see a lot of cool people. Got to enjoy it. CJ is a great guy. Right, my dear?
Yes, he is. Very nice guy.
Yeah, I don't know why my thing's so laggy. But that'll be it for today. We might stop over tomorrow, probably for a little while. And we'll see what's going on. Later. Hey everybody, it's me, Double D. Now, I'm going to give some, you've probably seen the first couple of videos, or maybe just one. I don't remember what I'm putting up first. But I have notes about the Siouxpercon over here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Now, we didn't make it to day 3 because, well, it's family day and lots of kids and yeah. So I'm going to break down what we did. We're home now. We were going to stay at the Ramada Inn, but they screwed up our reservation and tried to charge us more. They suck. Hope they all choke on something. Moving on. On the first day, of course, went in, met CJ Graham. And, got his autograph and picture. You know him as Jason from Part 6, my first Jason. The one who got me into the entire franchise. And then my significant other went and met Justin Warner, a cook from Food Network who on many cooking shows, owns his own restaurant in Rapid City, Noodles something. I probably should have looked that up, but I didn't. And, well, she's a fan. So she got to meet him. Then we did some shopping, of course. We went to there's a place in there where you can buy Lego minifigs. It's a good shop. It's called, I wrote it down, Brick Bunch. Great guys. They know their stuff, and they have a lot of really cool ones you're not going to find in the store. Like I got the Joker for my Joker wall. I have a bunch of Jokers. And we did some more shopping, mostly on the second day. We're not there yet. And of course, joining us this year was my friend from work, Lisa. Who I'm sure is very happy. I just put a picture of her on my YouTube channel. And that was pretty much the first day. We just basically walked around the sales floor, saw where everything was, met the stars we wanted to meet before the crowds built up. Notes. CJ is an awesome guy. And what else to say? It was great talking to him. Kept calling me the General for some reason. You know, just a nice guy. If you need to meet anybody, I recommend meeting him. Though the other two who were there was also Deborah Voorhees and Ron Sloan. Funny guy and funny woman. Well, I'll get to that later. And yeah, so far any member of the cast I've met of any of the movies have always been cool people, especially CJ. Big fan of CJ. Now let's see, and then we went, oh okay, also on the first day we went to a screening of 13 Fanboys. Now if you haven't seen that, it's a movie about a serial killer who is obsessed with Friday the 13th cast members. It's a good movie. I won't give any spoilers, so I recommend seeing it. It's a good movie, and it's mostly privately funded, I think. They worked hard to get it done. I recommend watching it. And then afterwards, of course, they had a Q&A with them. And, well, I don't want to ruin anything in case you ever get to one of those. So, I do recommend seeing the movie. And wait till after the credits to see the little snippet at the end. On the second day, are you ready for the second day? Let's see, what else do I got? The food. We had food there. The food was not good. I love Siouxpercon, but the food, the chicken strips, they were badly cooked and overpriced. But I'm not worried about the price because I was willing to pay that, but they just weren't very tasty. I recommend bringing your own soda if you go. Though they do have a cool thing in the corner where you can buy metal mugs and you get homemade soda. It's free refills all day long of the day you buy it. And then the next day you pay like $7, you can refill it all day too. Good bargain, tasty soda. My significant other bought one. Then when we got there, we went to open ceremonies. I don't know if I have any of that on video. If we do, you'll see it soon. All the videos that from the actual event will be after my yapping. Let's see, we did some more shopping. Let's see, what did I buy? Yes, I did buy things on that day. I bought some movie poster type things, you know, Fan of the Opera. I don't know if that's actual music of the night sound sheet on it, or if it's just random music, but my significant other wanted it, and I love the Phantom, as you know. Friday the 13th Part 7 poster. They didn't have a Part 6. I did look. Evil Dead. Now I saw something weird. You know, it's just a standard Evil Dead poster. They had an Evil Dead 4 poster there. There's not been an Evil Dead 4, so I have no idea what the heck that was for. And of course, TV show Lucifer. Now it says, it's good to be bad. I wish they would have had his other slogan, you know, in the City of Angels, he's not one. Sorry there. And then we were going to watch the cosplay contest, but they kept dragging it out. They had to give them all instructions. They said to be there at 2 to watch it, but it didn't start at 2. Or was it 2? I think it was 2. It didn't actually start until closer to 3. They didn't actually get back to the stage by 3:30 when we left, because we had to go get in line for a photo op with CJ in full Jason Voorhees costume. And I had to get one of those. I haven't got the email yet with the picture, but when I do, I'll probably do an update on this video. About CJ's costume, by the way, I haven't been able to find it anywhere else, but it looks awesome. And he stays in character. He doesn't talk, doesn't break character. I'm pretty sure it was him. Anyways, now, what I want to say about that is, I weigh about 260 pounds. I'm 6'2". I'm a chunky monkey. The dude handled me like a toddler. Tossed me around like I was nothing. Old CJ still got the brawn. Let's see. Okay, and then after that, we went to the Friday the 13th panel. Now, I love going to the panels. It was with, yeah, I have notes. I know I don't usually do that. with C.J. Graham, Deborah Voorhees, and Ron Sloan. All great people in a panel. Their stories were awesome. They were engaging. Especially CJ. I know I keep rattling on about him. A little bit of a man crush, but they were all very engaging. I've been to a few panels where the stars were just detached. Like they had, who did they have there? Let me check my notes. Bobby Singer from Supernatural. Dude was so standoffish, sitting behind a plastic shield, looking mean all the time, no selfies, and yeah, so we stayed away. My friend Lisa wanted to get a picture or something around there with the car and him, because they also had the Impala, but she's like, no, ain't going there. Dude looks too damn mean. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. Boom. Oh, and I didn't record any of the panel. I took some pictures, which will be here. But I didn't record anything of the panel because I was just geeking out. I was enjoying it too much. Didn't even think to push the video button. And my phone was acting up. I do really have to get a better camera. Right now I'm using the flip camera, which is why everything's so static. And I'm up in my room instead of down in the garage in my studio area. Okay, it's just a chair. But, you know. Oh, and of course my significant other. Wait, I did buy something else. Yeah, Phasma. I like the character. They just didn't do enough with it. Read the book, much better. But my significant other won the raffle a few times. She got a Wonder Woman pen, and then she got a 3D printed. She got this for me. It's from Star Trek, The Undiscovered Country. I didn't know the dude had passed last year. But, cool. And, hold on, I'm getting there. There we go. A green Power Ranger. Glows in the dark. Wizard World exclusive. Thingamabobber. Now, all this is pretty cool. Sorry about this. I probably should have thought ahead before I started moving stuff. Though, of course, my favorite item will, of course, always be my autographed picture of CJ. Yes. And no matter what he says, I did not grab his ass. Though if I knew it was an option, just saying. And that was pretty much the trip. We didn't go back today. As I said, it was family day. And, yeah. More kid orientated and yeah. I'm trying to remember if I'm forgetting anything. It was a great experience. CJ is awesome. If you get a chance to meet him, I recommend it. Or any of the Friday cast. From any of the Friday the 13th. Because it's just an awesome experience. Plus Siouxpercon. I love Siouxpercon. I go every year. The sales floor, I mean all the local shops have a spot. Rainbow Collectibles. I never stop talking about them. A great comic book store. Last Stop CD Shop. Tons of bookstores. Lots of local artists. So it's something you should do every year. Support the local geek community. Lots of cosplays. I said I don't have very many pictures or videos of them. I just did sort of some B-roll. But they all go all out. Someday. So it's a great experience, and of course the volunteers there are always awesome. You'll see not the DJ. The DJ was pretty cool there. I don't remember what his name was. But the MC, the Master of Ceremonies, I don't know what her name was. I'm sure she probably says it somewhere, but I didn't pay that close attention. I have ADD. She was really good. You'll see her in the Justin Warner video that be coming up. I managed to record most of that before my phone went bloop. And I think that's it. A fun time. Spent too much, I know. But when do you ever get to meet your hero? Well, okay, not really hero. Anti-hero? The guy who got you into a franchise. I mean, part 6, I saw it at my grandmother's house. And it just hooked me. I went home, immediately started drawing posters and made my own board game with all these different cabins around the path. And which one's Jason hiding under? Of course, I didn't have any friends to play with me. Yeah. None of my friends liked horror movies. My mother got me into them mostly. Because, you know, we'd go to the drive-in. That's right, I'm that old. See Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street. Though part 6 is the only Friday the 13th that really stuck in my brain to begin with. Because then I watched all the rest on VHS as well. My grandmother had them. And, well, that's pretty much it. Now I'll stop yapping. You can watch the video. Please leave a comment down below. Have you ever met any of these guys? Still wearing my wristband. Who's your favorite? And that's pretty much it. Please like, share, and subscribe, and have a nice night. Double D out. Enjoy the video. B-roll. The main room.
Is
So everyone check your pockets, check your pouches. If you are missing your...
But I own a ramen shop in Rapid City, South Dakota, and we just opened a natural wine bar around the corner. And you might have seen me in well over 100 episodes of a little show called Guy's Grocery Games. Thank you. In addition to the upcoming season of Tournament of Champions, season 4. Yeah, I'm a sideline commentator for that show. And yeah, that's pretty much it, I think.
I love food, so I'm super excited to have Justin here. I fangirl food every day. Who do I have over here?
Hi, I'm Cody. I own Fat Kid Philly's food truck and concessions. We've been in business going on our 3rd year. This is my oldest boy, Caden, and my other son, Cashin. They help on the truck. Besides our concession stands, we're 100% family owned and operated, and just doing what we love doing.
Love to hear it. Let's give a round of applause for this good guy.
Tell us what you put in front of Justin here to try out.
Absolutely. Well, the challenge was to be our cheesiest dish, and so I decided to do cheese 3 different ways. I thought in my head, you know, we make a sandwich that literally has the name cheese first in its name, so we did our original Fat Kid cheesesteak. We also did a side of gourmet bacon mac and cheese, and then we did a cherry cheesecake smash.
Wow, 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 wow. So I think the goal here was to have some sort of competition between multiple trucks, but seeing as you're the only entry, congratulations. And I think one thing that any chef worth their salt, pun fully intended, would tell you is that you always have to have a backup plan to back up your backup plan. I think that was Andre 3000 that originally said that. And the idea here is that I thought I would share with you all, if you're into it, a little behind the scenes of what being a competitive cook and a food judge is like. Into it?
Yes.
Okay, great. Should we get some audience participation?
I would love to have, this is way too much for me to eat when I've got to also sample the rest of their menu when I go outside. I'll need 3 more forks. This is my official fork. This is the Siouxpercon fork. Everybody take a seat, take a seat. I'm gonna find out who we've got sitting here. Sir, what is your name?
My name is Steve Lindquist from Sioux Falls.
Steve Lindquist from Sioux Falls. Steve, things that qualify you to be a food judge.
I eat a lot of food, and I cook a lot of food.
And he's got a great shirt.
I feel good. I feel good about Steve. Tell us who your dress is today.
A new challenger approaches? Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh, it's getting wild up in here. Tell us who your dress says today.
Albert Westcott from Resident Evil.
And what part of your Resident Evil experience qualifies you to be a food judge?
Well,
And your name?
I'm Sharon. I'm from Alcester.
And Sharon, you're one of our VIPs today, so I'm really excited that you're up here to taste test. And we do. We have Schroeder Snack Shack has just walked in. So we'll do a taste test of those next. I'll have.
You want to use the mic? Yeah, you do. Trust me.
What we have is this is South Dakota Nosh, which is lamb chisli. And one of them is seasoned with garlic salt, and the other one is a Greek Mediterranean.
This is the Greek seasoning. This is the garlic salt.
And then these are cheese curds.
Ooh.
And this is,
And some people would crack with the real chiseling. How many of you are South Dakotans that are familiar with chiseling?
Come on now, it's a state nosh, y'all. Even I know that.
and this is fried cheesecake.
haven't tried them, but we could try it.
Just lightly powdered with some flour, and it's usually really salty, but we love it that way, so we don't put any seasoning on that at all. This is our fried cheesecake. You get 3 different styles. One is strawberry swirl, one is chocolate chip caramel, and the other is plain. And it just is like a gooey goodness inside. This is our dessert.
Gooey goodness. So it looks like we have a head-to-head sort of. Oh man, and you brought another.
We're South Dakota based, and we source most of our products through South Dakota. This is South Dakota farm-raised beef. All of our burgers are handmade as they're ordered. This is basically a bacon cheeseburger deluxe. There is mustard and ketchup, but there's also all the condiments. The tomatoes are farm-raised as well and they're fresh. I just picked them 2 days ago. And then we just did a basic fry because everybody does it with our burgers. Everybody wants fries or tots. We did not even season them. We don't do that. We let the customer do what they want, so it doesn't even have salt. But our #1 seller next to the cheesecake is fried Oreos.
Oh.
So and the cheesecake will outsell even our meat.
Wow.
So enjoy your meals, and if you need anything else from us, let us know.
Thank you. Wow. Well, let's give a hand to these guys who gotta go back to work.
All right, thank you.
Who's manning the truck in your stead? Okay.
All right, and I think if we're ready, Justin, how do you guys usually handle this as celebrity judges? Do you start with one particular dish, or do you sample them?
Yeah, I mean, let's just let her rip. So first things first, has everybody had their caffeine? Judges? Yes? No? How will you judge? You don't do caffeine? Oh my. Okay, no judgment here. Okay, so first things first, when you're a judge, the first thing that you do is you wake up. Generally, you're hungover because you've been hanging out with a bunch of other chefs. Anyone here hungover? Okay, perfect. The only other chef in the room. What a surprise.
True to form.
Oh, good, man, good. And so then you get picked up by a van from the hotel, and then the van takes you to the COVID testing place because it's still, for better or worse, 2022. And then you get swabbed. And once you're clear, you have to like sit around for 15 minutes. Once you're clear, you go to your trailer. And the trailer is basically where you just bang your head against the wall and check your phone and do nothing until someone comes by and says, Chef Warner will be ready for you in about 5. And then in 7, probably, you end up going to hair and makeup, which I did not today, sorry. But in hair and makeup, that's where they get you TV ready. And it's actually a hugely important step in the process because there are so many lights on you, which there are not too many here, that you can sweat very easily, you get greasy very easily, and you do not look qualified. After that, once you're in hair and makeup, wardrobe will come by. I see wardrobe came by to your trailer today. And wardrobe will either say, hey, I like what you're wearing, or, ooh, yuck, Justin, what are you thinking? Generally the latter. And then they might provide you with some clothes that often end up in my suitcase at home. Then we get wired, and to get wired, that's nothing to do with caffeine, but that means they put a microphone on us. And that's a unique thing, because I always say that I live my life as though the mic is hot. All mics are always on, all guns are always loaded.
The mic is always on.
Yep. Ask Sylvester Stallone about that. Anyway, the idea is that you then get a microphone put on you, and anyone can hear every single thing that you or your body is doing, which is a unique hurdle to overcome, especially if you're hungover. And then after that, you go to your place on the judges panel, which is where we are today. And then after that, they give you your earpiece, and your earpiece is a little thing, they call it sometimes an earwig. It's a $3,000 piece of equipment that is essentially a wireless speaker that you plug in your ear. And then someone in what we call control is able to talk to you. And what control does is essentially narrates to you the things that you can or cannot see as a judge. And so we have a little monitor that lets us see what's going on, but you're trying to watch 4 plus, maybe 8 cameras of action, and sometimes you don't get it all. So then we take whatever information we have to narrate what we're seeing and what we're doing, what's going on. Oh my goodness, Josh in Kitchen 2, looks like he had a real mishap there. You know, I gotta say, in my experience, blah, 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 so on. And we deliver probably a solid 40 minutes of just running of the mouths, which you can tell I'm good at.
That's how you keep your chewing muscles strong.
Oh yeah,
when it's
yeah,
taste
just
test
flapping
time.
the jaws. Yeah, I do a nice healthy dose of jaw flapping every day. It's good it's my cardio. And anyway, after that, we then reposition. A lot of people ask me, why do you guys change positions when you're judging? And the idea is that if you watch grocery games, whoever is seated next to Guy, our Lord and Savior, Mayor of Flavortown, first of his name, thank you very much, on his behalf.
Guy has been to Sioux Falls. Guy's been here.
I was here with him.
He knows what we got.
Yeah.
He knows.
Guy came to Sioux Falls, I'm from Rapid. He's like, hey Warner, get over here. I'm like, bro, it's like 5 hours.
5 really boring hours.
That's okay. The thing is, Flavortown, because it is more of a state of mind than a state of the union, it is bigger on the inside. You know, it's both large and small. And when you're the mayor of Flavortown, things like 5 hours between you and another city, it doesn't register. So when we reposition and it is time to judge, it has been about 20 minutes. And what happens to the food? There's always a 4th plate, even though there are 3 judges. The 4th plate goes to what we call beauties. And so that's just a dude with a camera and someone who is there to fluff up the food and make it look nice. I'm not kidding you. They will poke it, they will prod it, they will torch it, they will sear it, they will, then at the very last moment, they'll come in with a fork, they will cut into it, they will lift it, and you get all of these shots that, as we're judging, you can cut away to, and you can say, oh, it's so gooey, and then boom, you see a picture of someone doing the goo. Welcome to Hollywood. One thing that we don't do is judge on temperature of the food, because it has been at least 30 minutes now between the time you got the food and the time that the food was prepared. So there will be no judgment on the actual temperature of things, because we understand that at one point this food was alive, and we are just here to judge its lifeless corpse. Nice makeup. Anyway, so generally what we like to judge on is gameplay. Gameplay first, because if you're not playing the game, we can't judge you. And both of these competitors brought hella cheese to the competition, so I think that we have a clear execution of gameplay. What is curious about this is that both of them have brought beef to the table. So this, without knowing it, is a battle of beef. Welcome to South Dakota. They've also both brought some form of cheesecake to this. So these are probably the key points where we have to look at the food and deliver judgment. The next thing that you should know as food judges is that whatever I say, you can't say, and whatever you say, you can't say, and whatever you say, no one's going to say because there's no one after you. And that's actually very difficult. The reason that we do that is so that when it comes time to edit the show, we're giving as many possible clips for the narrative of the story. You know, whatever it may be, you know, I'm so-and-so, and you know, everything I've ever done. You know, you've all seen The Crying Chef, right? And so, you know, if we want to make Crying Chef's narrative look really good and have Philly cheesesteaks, you know, be representative of whatever their struggles are, you know, we might want to bring that up in judging so that we can make a better story for the TV show. Again, welcome to Hollywood. Anyway, generally what we do is we look at the food, but a lot of people say you eat with your eyes first, and I beg to differ. I do not. Does anyone have a guess what sense we eat with first? Your nose, exactement. You know, you can make the brownest ass pot roast, pardon my French, you know, that looks just like glop. And if you make that, you'll smell it in the morning if you make it overnight, or you smell it at night when you come home, and you're jazzed, you are ready. And I also think that some of the most delicious food is not pretty. And I am totally okay with that. I think ugly food is the way most of us eat. And I think that for every ounce of energy that you sacrifice for plating, you are probably sacrificing some other thing that you could possibly be putting into your food or manipulating with your food to make it taste better. Because ultimately, taste, my friends, is what we're here to talk about. So, you and I will share this. I don't know how we're going to tackle that burger in a sanitary fashion. Yeah, can you cut it or rip it or something? Just so I can have a bite, because ultimately my vote will sway more than yours, no offense. So, great, now that we've got all of that out of the way, there are a couple criteria upon, you can just shove it somewhere, into my mouth, fine. Generally what you want to talk about is the things that we can taste. So you've got salt, which I think is crucial. I always say salt is like corrective lenses for your palate, for your tongue. Salt is, oddly enough, one of the few rocks that we eat, unless you have pica. My wife's pregnant, so that's a real possibility. But yeah, salt is one of the few rocks that we eat, and salt is corrective lenses for your tongue. And in my opinion, it lets you see the true potential of food just a little bit better. You like salt, Chef? Good. Great answer.
What is the technical, if you were a trained chef, what is the technical amount of a pinch of salt?
You know, a lot of people ask me that, and I think it depends on the size of your thumb and forefinger. And to me, I think a pinch is actually useless, because in all reality, generally you want 1 teaspoon of salt per pound of whatever unflavored thing that you have. And so to me, a pinch of salt is something that I do to correct something for my personal palate. A pinch of salt is something that I would do at the table, not in the kitchen. You know, I can't even imagine cooking for more than one person and only using a pinch of salt. Like, that sounds terrifying to me. But people have also accused me of being salt heavy, and to that I say, I don't care. Anyway, so we've got salt, number one thing. We've got sweet, we've got fat, we've got heat, we have sourness, also known as acidity. Anyone ever see it? I wish this dish had a little more acid. Thanks, hippie. Anyway, the idea is that acidity is actually very important because acidity cleanses the palate. I've got a little bit here in my spent Red Bull. And it lets you kind of refresh and taste again with a sort of fresher tongue, if you will. It's one of the main reasons that wine is so popular with food is because of its acidity. It washes away the fat from your tongue. So when we talk about acidity, we're talking about sourness. And other than that, what do we got? Bitter. And then, of course, umami. Bitter is something that I think a lot of people think is a negative term, but in my opinion, bitter is the flavor of a lot of good things. Believe it or not, char. When you have something that is charred, you're applying a sort of alkaline bitterness to it, which is the opposite of sourness, and that I think can really complete a dish when it's executed properly. And then lastly, we've got that old devil umami. Do you guys know about umami? So umami is a word that is Japanese that doesn't really translate in English, but it's the You know when you taste something, you go umami is generally the flavor of things that are brown. I always say brown things taste like brown things, which taste like brown things. Beef, mushrooms, whiskey, dark beer, caramel, chocolate. Whoa, holy mackerel, should we make that? You know, if you think about it, the segue between all of those things is that they've all been roasted in some way, shape, or form. And oftentimes, that's what we call the Maillard reaction, browning. We love that. Anyway, now that we know what we're judging on, let's freaking eat already. Shall we? Great, let's eat. So I'm gonna dive into the cheesesteak first, and if you all would like to do that, then we'll have our comments about the cheesesteak immediately thereafter.
I do want to ask our Schroeder's Snack Shack and our Fat Kids Phillies, but Schroeder's Snack Shack has stepped away. But I do want to ask them before the end of the day, so I'm giving you a heads up on the questions. What do people ask you in South Dakota to add to your menu? Has anybody ever asked for anything and they're like, oh, I love how you make what you make. Can you do this?
Yeah, we get it pretty much every time we're out. Someone has an opinion on, what we could do or ask if we could do things differently. We don't pre-make anything, so everything that we make is adjustable. So if someone didn't want onions or peppers on their Philly, we could make it that way. I think the biggest thing, one of the biggest things that I've seen recently over the past year is the GF for gluten-free people, vegans, vegetarians. So it's hard on a truck like mine that typically specializes in large meat sandwiches to adapt to that. So we do stuff for like gluten-free where we'll minus the bun and add like a rice cauliflower, make it like a stir-fried Philly or something like that. But that's typically the biggest things that people advise us to put on our menu. Looks like you need a napkin.
You see, what they don't tell you or show on food television shows is that I already have 2 napkins, and they are right here. It's the old sock napkin approach. And so when it's time to hold the mic after you've just inhaled one of the biggest bites I've ever taken of anything, you go for the sock napkin. So judges, are you ready to level your criticisms? So what we do, because we specialize, and I'm going back for the sock napkin again, we specialize in lighthearted, good family fun, is we say 3 nice things and 1 mean thing. Are you prepared? You got thick skin, great. Everybody go out there and
At the end, is he prepared?
leave a Google review for these guys, 5 stars, please. Okay, that's actually where our only ego comes from, is the Google reviews. My restaurant just dipped to 4.6 stars last night, and I had a coronary. That might be why I'm hungover. Anyway, okay, first things first, we got to address the true elephant in the room because it's about the size of one, the Philly cheesesteak. Things that I love. You went with the whiz approach. If you're a Philly enthusiast, you know there are 2 ways you can go, provolone or whiz. And you went whiz. Really? Oh, damn, you got me. And so I think the meltiness, the ooey-gooeyness of it is stupendous. I think that the thing that a lot of people screw up is undercooking the peppers and onions. And you got that perfect saute or sweat, as we call it, where they are tender but present. They have not been annihilated by your own cookery, but they are not there as a vegetal crouton, if that makes sense. I love that you went braised beef, I assume, correct? Smoked. So a lot of cats will come at you with like a fajita-looking thing in a sub, but you've kind of put your own riff on that, and that smokiness is coming through, and I think is,
And as for what was that again? That crust cheesecake? That was absolutely delightful. It almost felt like I was chewing ice cream, was one way I would put it.
That's
I
good.
enjoyed
That's
it.
good, man. You made like a nice metaphor there, you know, or maybe it was a simile. I always get them confused. But
Honestly,
chewing ice cream, you know,
I'm
that's.
ashamed to admit this. I'm a writer, and I don't know either.
I think one is a comparison without using the words like or as. Yeah, sorry, bro. Anyway, what you just did though, that is pro, is that you gave the viewer at home something that is tangible to them. And that's important. And that probably would have made the cut versus everything that I said.
And as for the cheesesteak, I found that to be delightfully chewy, especially the way they did up the meat. Normally, I'm not a fan of onions, but that was great. That was wonderful.
Thank you very much for your plate. It is just a feast here. For the eyes, for the tongue, for the taste, and definitely for the nose. I'm going to start with the Philly cheesesteak. I have to tell you, first of all, the crunch and sweetness of the onions just absolutely enhanced every bit of your beef. I enjoyed the softness, the buttery feel of it. The whiz, not into it. However, the provolone, I was very fortunate that it overtook and definitely gave that. What I think would actually give this a kick is if you would garlic toast the bread. You get that extra crunch that a person would have, plus it gives it that little extra salt. That would do. That's just my opinion, and since it's my opinion, I'm right. As far as the mac and cheese go, I love the al dente of the noodle. The cheese, wow.
Lady?
She came to play.
Yeah, and where did you get your PhD?
From your show.
Christ. Bite machine over here. Wow. All in all, Chef, I think really no harsh criticism, and I think that you definitely put out a product that people should be really jazzed about. So if y'all are envious of us eating up here on stage, y'all got to get out there. And even if you don't go out there, just leave them a 5-star review on Google. Okay?
I have one more question. Speaking of plating, where did these come from? This was, I mean, I know that a lot of times the visuals matter, and I think this is great. I don't know if everybody can see it. I don't want to get cheese on the main stage, but I really appreciated watching you carry that in, and it's, you know, timely for the theme and what we're doing, and I think that was an adorable, nice touch.
I work for Marvel, though, for future reference, so I can't talk about the distinguished competition, as we call them. All right, judges, let's jump into the next bit here. And now that y'all have seen how we do this, we'll do what we do is like a speed round. One is beef, one is lamb, so we'll want to share, yes? That's beef, I believe. You'll know, I promise you. So I'm gonna go ahead and eat this burger, and I'm gonna talk and taste at the same time. So when it comes to burgers, who is team smash burger? Who is team thick burger? Oh, thick burgers out here, interesting. I think both are an art form. I think both have their merits and their reasons. But I think I'm team smash. Anyway, you might have noticed that I only took one bite of my sandwich and of the other things there. And a lot of people say, you didn't like it, why you only eat one bite? And the point is that I eat for a living. By the end of a day of grocery games, there is a good chance that I will have had, let's see, we shoot 1 1/3 episodes per day, so that's 4 + 4. Someone do the math with me, that's 8, that's then 3, then 2. I don't know, something like 15 dishes in a day. So at the end of the day, the only thing I want is whiskey and shut up. And that's why I only eat one bite. And oftentimes, I find that if a chef is good, they know that one bite is all it takes. And I think that also you don't need to be rooting around to find that perfect bite. Sometimes I think modern cuisine is a nuisance because you have to build a perfect bite. Build me a perfect bite, sweetie. And I don't know. Sometimes I just like it shoved in a piece of bread. Who's with me? Great. Right now I'm doing what we call the chipmunk, which is where you shove to the side in the cheek so that you can continue to talk even though your mouth is full. If you guys want to start leveling your criticism while I eat, are you prepared? I can't wait to hear what you have to say about bacon on this one. Go ahead.
Gonna start here with the bacon cheeseburger. They believe in well-dead bacon. It sits there and has a snap, it has a crunch.
Yeah, with sweets as well. If y'all like weaponized deliciousness, you need to get out there and eat whatever this fried cheesecake thing is. Because that put the hurt on me. And I was not really anticipating enjoying it because I am not really like a fry it and it's better sort of person. But this is better because it is fried and absolutely doused in powdered sugar. I didn't know that I needed that, but I need it. And y'all probably need it too. So go out there and get that. And also leave them 5 stars in Google. Next up, cheese curds. Again, when Chef said we don't season these, we let the saltiness of the cheese speak for themselves. I was hesitant, like we don't season it. I'm nervous, and oftentimes when we are food judging, this is always the tough part of the show, which is where you have to potentially send 2 little kids home crying. Just kidding, guys. You're not gonna cry. You're tough. Look at your dad. He stood in the face of danger before. And we hate to do it. And generally what we do when we're making a show, especially when we have cameras on the people that have stood here for now nearly an hour, waiting and listening and watching as criticism is leveled at them, we like to build a suspense. And we like to talk a little bit more slowly. And we like to say that, one team maybe didn't have the crispiest bacon. One team probably had some issues with salt. Both teams played the game. Both brought cheesiness to the party, which is what we asked for. But at the end of the day, they always look around. And it's just to make you guys sweat more. There can only be one winner, and that winner is here on stage with us right now.
That kid, Phillies!
Congratulations.
Taking it home, I'm going to say, probably, in my opinion, because of the mac and cheese. But...
what do you guys have to say?
This is just a lifetime experience.
Cool. Well said, and thank you. I'm going to add that to my resume. Partner?
I want to thank the other team for actually having us have a competition and compete with someone else to not just only have us be the winner for today. So I want to thank the other team for their dish, and I think they also did phenomenal. But just some days, some teams comes out on top, and the others have to go home. So.
You gonna play in the NFL, kid? Yeah, it's extremely succinct. And perhaps a little unnerving. That's okay.
he plays varsity in the kitchen, too.
Right? Proud Papa.
Thank you everyone for coming and watching. This is always a fun time for me to do competitions. It allows me to be creative with my dishes and do what I love, and that's just have fun in the kitchen. Thanks judges for coming up and all the helpful criticism, a few changes that we might make. I like the garlic bread idea, something I wouldn't have thought of before. So thank you all and have fun at Siouxpercon.
Wow. And just so you know, a totally viable thing for you to say in your head for our criticisms is, these guys have no idea what they're talking about. Shut up, bunch of TV props. Anyway, judges, thank you very much. You guys were amazing, and I hope that volunteering gets you a reward somewhere in life, or perhaps the afterlife, but there will be none here. There was food, great.
Let's get a big round of applause for our winners judges.
And I want to thank the audience for hanging out with us. You know, it's actually a little bit of a slog to make food TV because it takes forever. But you all seem to be pretty engaged in that. And like I said, I like to make interesting food for interested people, and I want to thank you all for being interested. If you are more interested, you can't leave me a 5-star review on Google Rats, but I have a book that we're selling at Brookings Books next door. It is the Marvel Eat the Universe cookbook from the eponymous web series. And I am Justin Warner, signing out.